What's up, world? Ball speed machine. Finally got a warm day at the beach. It was about 72, might have peaked around 74, but didn't have time to get to the range, and then it was a little bit windy. That ocean breeze was cold. Just took a drive down Ocean Boulevard about 2 hours ago, and you could feel that cold air coming off the ocean. So anyways, wanted to go ahead, now that it is warming up, wanted to stretch a little bit and get a little bit of mobility back in me. And so I'm going to show you a couple things that I do for that. So I'm out here. I've got two wedges. These are my backup wedges. These are the wedges I played last year. Still in great condition. I could still put them in the bag, but I did replace them with SM10s, and I'm happy with those right now. So I'm going to use these two wedges to do a lot of my practicing, just to get my feel back, and then put the SM10s back in the bag once I'm ready to start working on those distances and that feel. So for now, I got two golf balls. The golf balls don't really matter. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use these two golf clubs as a weight. So you can get a golf club donut and slide it down one of your clubs. There's actually speed sticks and weighted clubs you can get, the orange whip, anything that has a little extra weight to it, but still lets you swing a club pretty naturally. So normally I'm an interlock. I just baseball grip these two together, and doesn't have to be perfect, and basically just start getting a little bit of back and through, turning that hip and shoulders and that abdomen around your spine, starting to get a feel for what that's going to feel like out there on the course. So as you get a little bit older, especially that first practice session of the year, depending on where you're at, it may have been 2 months, maybe 6 months. So you really want to take your time warming up. You really want to spend a few days stretching, getting loose, before you really jump out there and start putting some big swings on it. I actually feel pretty good. Obviously, I'm a big dude, but I've lost about 10 pounds in the last month or two, so I actually feel incredible, and I don't feel that bad. I was having a little bit of trouble with my legs and knees after a long day on my feet, and it always went away in the morning, but then it came back after a long day again. So that kind of went away over the last month. Don't know exactly why. I think I'm just being a little bit more active. We're going into softball season, and so, you know, I'll be out there coaching and getting involved a lot more than most coaches probably. So that helps me stay a little bit active early in the year. And then now that the weather's warming up, I'll get to play some golf and maybe throw the football on the beach and do a couple cool things like that. So, you know, 5 or 10 minutes of just twisting and turning, using two clubs, feeling that weight, allowing the clubs to do the work and the feel. Oh, and it feels pretty good. When I'm doing this, I guess the only swing thought I'm thinking about, there's a couple, but one of them is my right elbow. I want to keep that close to the body. I don't want it to get out here. I don't want it to get high. I want to keep that right elbow close to the body. So even when I'm warming up, I'm thinking about that swing thought. The second swing thought I'm thinking about is rotating around my spine, even as a big person, rotating around my spine. So when I was a junior, I was very fortunate to have a couple really great pros. And one of them was extremely young, and we met because he joined me and my dad one time playing golf out on the golf course, and he only had one club. He had a 7-iron, and that's something he did to practice. He would go out and play the entire course with one club, a 7-iron. That's it. No putter, no wedge, nothing. Just a 7-iron. And it helped him learn how to hit different shots and be creative and course manage. And he was a heck of a golfer. And so after that time, I asked him if he would help me. And he would come out on the range just about every day and give me a few tips. One of his biggest tips ever that I still do to this day is imagine that you're inside of a barrel, like a whiskey barrel. And you know, if you're swaying back, that whiskey barrel is going to fall. If you're swaying forward, that whiskey barrel is going to fall again. If you're leaning forward, that whiskey barrel. You're leaning back, oh, that whiskey barrel. So you're in the whiskey barrel and you have to rotate around the whiskey barrel. And you have to stay balanced, okay? You're rotating around the whiskey barrel. I can't tell you how much that helped me throughout my junior career. It gets you in a really good, solid foundation to put a really good swing on the golf ball. All right, so from there, we're talking about the whiskey barrel. We're turning. You can see how our shoulders are turning. We're rotating around our spine. Practice that rotation. Your hips are rotating. Just a really, really great drill. Rotating in the whiskey barrel. Now, he didn't say whiskey barrel because I was a kid. He just said barrel. But you get what I'm trying to say. After that, I'm going to go ahead and drop one of the clubs. And I'm going to stick with my 52. It's just a hair longer. And what I want to do now is just kind of work on my grip. So now I'm back into that interlock. It's important to have a really great grip. And it starts with your connection. So when you're a beginner golfer or a new golfer, you're probably going to use a baseball grip, which you can get away with that for a while. But an interlock or an overlap are the traditional grips that you're going to see in your better players. So I was actually overlap as a junior for many, many moons. And then around the age of probably 13 or 14, my hands started getting a little bit bigger and this didn't feel as comfortable. And so I made the switch to interlock. Now that switch took me, I would say, at least a solid month. Now that doesn't seem like a lot of time, but back then I was at the golf course every single day. So about 30 days of hitting balls and playing before that really got comfortable. Now, 20 years later, 30 years later, you know, it's just completely natural. Don't even have to think about it. It feels great. So figure out whether you want to have an interlock with your pinkies or an overlap. And then whatever feels best or fits your hands the best. Okay, so I'm interlock. So what I want to do is go ahead and start getting a feel for my grip. I want to start rotating my wrist. These are the parts of your body that you haven't been using, that haven't been twisting and flexing and haven't had much friction against. They haven't had any vibration. So those are going to be the parts of your body, especially as you get older, that take a little bit longer to warm up and get into a rhythm. Also your forearms. So stick your hands out, you got your grip. You know, feel what that's going to be like when you cock that club back, your forearms pulling, you're feeling that strain, your wrist. Start feeling some of that motion and you'll feel it right away, especially the first time out. Like, okay, this wrist right here is going to take a little bit longer to get going. This arm right here is going to take a little bit longer to get going. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to build back your strength, your muscle memory, all those things, flexibility that you lose in the off season, okay? But if you just go out there and start hitting balls, you're going to develop bad habits, risk injury, and you're not going to be happy. You're going to be fighting that battle the whole season. So it's better to take a few days to really get a feel for your body, get a feel for everything, your shoulders, your arms, your elbows, your wrists, your forearm, your hip, your legs, your knees, your thighs. Make sure you know where everything is, because in a good golf swing, you have to get everything in rhythm. Everything has to work together. And we see 1,000 million different golf swings. So we know a golf swing doesn't have to look a certain way. It has to fit you. And so if your shoulders are a little slow, you're going to have to figure that timing out. If your hips and legs are a little slow, you're going to have to figure that out. And you're going to have to work together so that everything from here down is rotating around that spine. All right. From there, we're back into the grip. Scotty Scheffler has been checking his grip before every single shot the last few years. They just mentioned it on the Golf Channel telecast over at the Waste Management. one of the things he does before every shot is he's checking his grip. One of the most important basic fundamentals. Check your grip, then check your ball position, your posture. You get those three things right, and you're in good rhythm and good timing, a lot of good things are gonna happen, okay? So I'm gonna start doing that a little bit more. Look at your grip. Make sure it's in your fingers, not your palms. A lot of people get the grip too high up in the palm. Make sure it's down in your fingers. See that? Down in your fingers. And then, boom. Same thing with this hand, in the fingers, not in the palm. In the fingers. And that's gonna give you a good grip. Go ahead and get about shoulder width apart. It's great doing this on camera or in front of a mirror so you can start to see what your body's looking like. Are you leaning back too much? Maybe you're leaning forward too much. Maybe you're leaning back. You can see that on the camera. So you're standing up good, a little flex in your knees. We're gonna take it back really slow. See that rotation? What's this arm doing? Is this arm bending too much? Is it straight coming back? You can see all these things in the camera. You can see them in the mirror. There's the elbow. When is the wrist actually bending up? Are you holding it longer? You can hold it back here and then go up. Or are you bending it right out of the gate and getting too far inside there? So find that spot. Where is their rhythm? When you get to that spot, what are your shoulders doing? Are you feeling any pain? Are you feeling any tension? Are your legs, hips, knees, are all those things working together as one? And so what I'm trying to tell you, I know this video is a little bit of a rant and a ramble, but I'm kind of going through all the things. You're not gonna just, boom, say, I need to do this, 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 and this. It's all gonna happen through the process. So in the barrel, we're turning in the barrel. The second part of that is everything is in sync. So my sternum and my belly button and my hips and my knee, all of that stuff, the whole time that I'm turning in the barrel, all of that stuff is staying together. And at impact, it's staying together, and boom. So that's what I'm trying to feel. Where is it? Where is it? Where do I feel? That feels like I'm pulling, and it's not natural. Right about here, boom, that feels good. Up, normally my head would be down on the ball. Up, down. What's that movement feel like? My weight shifting. Where am I going? Is it all staying together? One more time. Back. Go ahead and work on that spin as well. Hope that helps. I would spend about 20 to 30 minutes every day for at least 3 days before you go out and hit balls for the season, and really get a feel. Use that 2-club technique for some weight. Then just do some basic exercises with your wrists, your fingers, your forearms, your shoulders. Get all those body parts loosened up. Try to get everything in a rhythm. Think about turning in the barrel. Think about your tempo. Think about your release. And if you do that, then when you finally do get out there to the course and start hitting balls, you're gonna be about 3 steps ahead of most people, and you're gonna set yourself up for a really great season. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more great content from the golf club experts. Have a great day. All right, folks, real quick, here's a little bonus footage. One other drill that I like to do to start working on my hand-eye coordination. We're gonna switch out the 52 for the 56. Okay, so we got the 56-degree wedge here. Again, focusing on that grip, how it feels, making sure your clubs are ready to go for the season. But what I want to do is take this golf ball here. If you're not practicing a lot, this is going to be something that's very challenging. Okay, don't give up. Just do it a couple times a day and start to get a feel for it, and you'll get a lot better. But it's a great drill for hand-eye coordination and also for focus. It's not just a trick shot. It's just not for fun. It's just not for social. It's hand-eye coordination, it's feel, and it's focus. All right, so I'm not gonna look at the camera because I'm gonna try to focus, and I'm not gonna talk because I'm gonna try to, I don't know exactly who that was, but anyways, here we go. It's a really great exercise for your hand and eye coordination, your strength in your wrist, your forearms. Once you get good with one hand, try to start doing it with the other hand. You don't have to be perfect, but if you can get 4 or 5 bounces with each hand, you know you're a lot closer than you were before you started. The left hand's going to be the hardest, especially getting it started. Ideally, you're going to want to start it with your right hand and then switch over, but that's extremely difficult unless you've been practicing. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a great day.